Hello friends, I am Sabina Banu from Department of Microbiology, Sacred Heart College, Tirupattur. Now I am presenting about fossils and types of fossils. Now let's see what is the fossil and what are all the fossils are present. Then the fossils are how to formed. Now let's see first of all what is the fossil. A fossil is the preserved remains of a once living organism. In Latin, the word fossil are called fossilis, like something dug up. Fossils give clues about organisms that lived long ago. They also provide evidence about how Earth's the form and how the Earth surface has changed over time. Fossils help scientists understand what past environments may have been like. The fossils are formed based on the condition of environment, and the fossils are divided into four groups. They are sediment, layer, movement and erosion. Now first sediment. What is a sediment? An animal is buried with sediment such as volcanic ash or slate shortly after it dies. Its bones are protected from rotting by the layer of sediment. Then layer. Layer is the more sediment layers accumulate above the animal's remains and minerals such as silica, a compound of silicon and oxygen, slowly replace the calcium phosphate. Then movement. Movement of tectonic plates or giant rock slabs that make up Earth's surface lifts up the sediments and pushes the fossil closer to the surface. Then erosion. Erosion from rain, rivers and wind wears away the remaining rock layers. Eventually erosion or people digging for fossils will expose the preserved remains. Now, five main types of fossils. They are petrified fossils, molds and casts, carbon films, trace fossils and preserved remains. Now, first type of fossil is petrified fossil. The word petrified means turning into stone. Petrified fossils form when minerals replace all or part of an organism. Water is full of dissolved minerals. It seeps through the layers of sediment to reach the dead organism. When the water evaporates, only the hardened minerals are left behind. In this petrified fossil, we see the field of museum in Chicago. Second fossil is a molds and casts. A mold forms when hard parts of an organism are buried in sediment, such as sand, silt, or clay. The hard parts completely dissolve over time, leaving behind a hollow area with the organism's shape. A cast forms as the result of a mold. Water with dissolved minerals and sediment fills the mold's empty spaces. Minerals and sediment that are left in the mold make a cast. A cast is the opposite of its mold. In this mold fossils, also called imprint, is of an extinct mollusk called an ammonite. Third type of fossil is carbon films. All living things contain an element called carbon. When an organism dies and is buried in sediment, the materials that make up the organism break down. Eventually, only carbon remains. The thin layer of carbon left behind can show an organism's delicate parts like leaves on a plant. The carbon films is fern fossil. This carbon film fossil of a fern is more than 300 million years old. Then trace fossils. Trace fossils show the activities of organisms. An animal makes a footprint when it steps in sand or mud. Over time, the footprint is buried in layers of sediment. Then the sediment becomes solid rock. They are fancy footwork. This dinosaur footprint was found in Namibia in Africa. Now finally, preserved remains. Some organisms get preserved in or close to their original states. Here are some ways that can happen. Like amber. Amber is an organism such as an insect is trapped in a tree's sticky resin and dies. More resin covers it. sealing the insect inside. It hardens into amber. Then tar. An organism such as a mammoth is trapped in a tar pit and dies. The tar soaks into its bones and stops the bones from decaying. Then ice. An organism such as a woolly mammoth dies in a very cold region. Its body is frozen in ice, which preserves the organisms, even its hair. Now, that's all about fossils and types of fossils. So, thank you for watching this video. We'll see in next video with your support. Thank you so much.